Thank you everybody for joining me. My name is Michael. I know I've been off the podcast a little bit, but I had some stuff going on that needed some attention to. Brian is out for the evening on some business stuff, so he's busy doing some other stuff, but he'll be back on next week. So this is episode 55, and I'm calling this Controlled Content. And basically what I'm going to be talking about is just what the current state of social media is right now. And I actually got this idea to do this controlled content segment from a post that I actually saw on social media. And it just simply said that basically everyone is controlling what they're posting online essentially, and that's why they call it controlled content. So basically when you go onto social media, everything is perfectly thought out, everyone has planned everything, they've put thought into it, and they're controlling what they're releasing and putting out into the world. Hence the term controlled content. So, you know, the issue that we have with this is that's fine that everyone's posting their highlight reel, but the issue with that is that they're only posting the positive stuff, and they're posting their best moments, their best pictures, their best everything essentially. So what happens is then everyone gets online and they naturally tend to want to compare their life to what they're seeing on other people's social media feeds. So I have a bunch of bullet points down here that can just give me some ideas of some of the examples, and I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of everything, but a lot of the controlled content you will see in the fitness industry and on a lot of the fitness social media accounts. You'll see a lot of the fitness models, you'll see the final picture of them like posing on, I don't know, out in LA on a pier by the water with a nice background, and you don't really see what kind of goes on behind the scenes to get that look. Like literally if you go on YouTube and you look at some of the behind the scenes stuff on that, you'll see that they put a lot of thought into it, and you know, they went and got what they thought was a perfect outfit, and then they take the pictures and they do their special poses and whatever. Like you'll see a lot of girls like grabbing their ponytail and sticking their butt out and arching their back and doing all this stupid shit essentially to get the picture. And I don't know, it's getting kind of old, you know, like people, of course that's their best picture, and then they go to the photographer or they do it on their own. I mean, you can do it on Instagram, and they start throwing filters and they edit it and they shade it and they do all this stuff. A lot of times they'll make their stomach look a lot leaner than what it really is, and they're trying to get the best angles, and it's just, it's a lot of work, you know. And it's, if you actually saw what the raw unedited photos looked like, you would be really surprised to see what the big difference is between the two, between the finished product and you know, what it would look like in the raw. So in the fitness industry, you're going to see a lot of this going on, especially with transformations too. A lot of online social media accounts and different people that are trainers in the industry, they post what they're telling you could be like a 30-day transformation or a 60-day transformation, when in fact it could possibly have taken that person, that client that they trained, a year or more to actually, you know, achieve that desired look. So they're lending you to believe that they can get you in shape like that in 30 days, which it won't happen. You know, I've been training for over 10 years now, and some of these pictures that I see of people doing 30-day online transformations is like absolutely ridiculous. You know, they have not proven that they changed their body in 30 days like that. So you know, a lot of these transformation contests and stuff that you see online, like there's been a few fitness Instagram models and quote-unquote trainers online that have actually gotten busted. People looked into them and was able to expose them and truly show you that these transformations were indeed not real transformations, or at least not in the time frame that they claim them to be. You know, filters are a big thing online. You know, the IG stories have them, Instagram itself has it, Facebook, the Facebook stories. Obviously people love the filters on Snapchat, and just look at what majority of the women are posting on their Snapchat. They're doing the dog filter, or they're doing like the filter that smooths out their skin and maybe like puts like a twinkle in their eye or something like that. Like not a lot of people are actually being raw and authentic on their social media accounts and just posting themselves as is. They're using the filters. The filters is like a big deal to them. So again, it goes back to controlled content. A lot of people what you see is the person wakes up, right, and they post themselves in full makeup, laying in bed, like they just woke up like the most beautiful person in the world, and then they take their next picture of Starbucks in their hand, right, with maybe like the logo of their Mercedes-Benz in the middle of their steering wheel, and they put their Starbucks cup next to it. And then they post like maybe a picture of the beach during the day, because of course they don't work, they're at the beach all day is what they're portraying. And then they post a picture of like maybe like an expensive meal or something that maybe wasn't even their meal that they ate, or whatever the case may be, when the real story was that they woke up and they may have absolutely looked like shit in the morning because they just don't have any makeup on and they're just tired and they're sleepy and whatnot, and then their dog shit all over the floor in the living room, and their baby shit through 3 diapers in the morning, and they were late to work. They spilled coffee all over themselves, you know what I mean? So there's a drastic difference of like what people are really posting online. And I'm not saying everybody is like this, but I'm saying there is a lot of people out there on social media that are portraying their lives to be absolutely perfect, when indeed it's not, none of us have perfect lives, and that's okay. I don't have a perfect life. I'm sure you guys that are watching and listening don't have a perfect life. But the point is that most people are only posting the perfect positive stuff. And if they don't feel like a lot of positive stuff is going on, then they're making the stuff up, and they're actually just posting fake stuff that is positive because they want to control the content that they're putting out into the world. Now, devil's advocate here would say, well, who wants to get onto their news feed and see a bunch of negativity, right? Like, I don't want to. I actually, on Facebook, I won't unfriend someone, but I will unfollow them. I will go out of my way to unfollow them if they're constantly posting negative stuff. But I don't want to go on to any type of social media and see a bunch of negative stuff. Of course, I want to see positive stuff. But there's a difference between constantly posting negative stuff and just being real and transparent and authentic. There's something refreshing about just being honest and being yourself and being true and transparent. And I think that is positive in that, just being transparent about your life in general. I think there's something magnetic about that. I tend to gravitate towards people that are real and authentic and are just very honest, because when people actually, talk about issues that they're having in their life or things that they're dealing with, adversity, some of those things may resonate with you, and you tend to kind of gravitate towards that. At least I know I do. If someone says, oh, I was struggling with this or I was struggling with that, and it's just, this is interesting, the thing that I was thinking about, and it made me think about this, and I may be going through the same thing, so I'm going to gravitate towards that, and that'll resonate with me, and I'll more than likely want to follow them, and learn more about their story and whatnot. So constantly posting negative stuff is one thing. I definitely don't want to see that, but just being transparent and authentic and real, there is something magnetic in that, So a lot of people are actually posting majority of their stuff, and again, it's not everybody. I just wanted to go over the idea of controlled content, because everyone gets caught up in the game of really comparing themselves to other people's lives. More so now in the social media era than before, because the only people that you knew about their lives was the people that you saw on a daily basis or you talked to on the phone or whatever. You weren't able to get on some sort of an online platform on a mass scale and scroll through your feed and see over 200 people's lives that you don't talk to. And now, all of a sudden, naturally, human instinct is, I'm comparing myself to their life. I'm either thinking, damn, they're struggling and I'm doing better than them, or, gosh, they're driving fancy cars, living in the house. It seems like they're always at the beach. I wonder if they really work. Why do I have to work? And you start to compare yourself to someone who is portraying themselves to have a better life than everyone else. So most people are actually posting what they want you to think about their life, or what they want them to think about, what they want you to think about them in general, rather than, I guess they're probably more concerned with what their reputation is than what their true character and integrity is. So you happen to see that a lot in the fitness industry, and the reason why I'm talking about the fitness industry is just because I've been involved in it for so long, and it's just to the point now where, like, you get online and you just see all these Instagram models, and I mean, I guess they're in okay shape or whatnot, but they're posting their fit tees and they're posting this whatever, this shake that they're drinking that's helped them lose 30 pounds in 30 days. And frankly, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And I'm just being real when I'm saying that because, again, nothing replaces hard work, exercising on a daily basis, eating healthy. Yes, supplements do play a role, but again, supplement is exactly what it is. It's a supplement to an already good existing diet plan that's sustainable for life and a consistent exercise plan. So right now in the social media world, what we're kind of dealing with is, that there's a huge lack of transparency, and that's causing many people to lose confidence in themselves. It's causing them to question themselves, question their relationships, not be thankful for the things that they have. The next thing you know, let's say you have a roof over your head, you have a vehicle, you're healthy, you have a job, you're able to eat food every day, you're able to exercise every day, and you have all these things that you're able to do, but you see someone's social media, they have a car, but the car is 10 times better than your car. The house is 10 times bigger, right? The clothes are fancier than what you have. The workout place that they work out, it's very luxury. It's private, right? They're paying way more to work out there. So it can always be bigger and better, you know what I mean? And so when you start to compare yourselves to other people like that, that's where there starts to be a disconnect, and you start to be unhappy with your life, and you're not as thankful for the things that you should be thankful for every day. And so you're not really starting your day from a place of gratitude. You're in a place of strength. You're starting your day from a place of weakness, which lends to my next point is that, of course, with social media and everything that's going on these days and people posting this controlled content, it makes you want to have instant gratification too, because you're seeing other people do so well, or they may be posting that they're doing so well, and the truth is they may be doing well, and good for them. You should want to see other people do well, but then you start to want to have that instant gratification. Well, I just started in the fitness industry, but I see this other fitness model and this other personal trainer. They have 1 million followers on Instagram, and they have a big supplement sponsor, and they have a clothing sponsor, and they have all this. Well, they've been in the industry for much longer than you. They've been doing their social media much longer than you and just putting out consistent content out there. I mean, who knows what's going on, but I'm just saying that's not even comparing apples to apples. That's comparing two different things. So, nowadays, I'm actually worried about the day where Lindsay and I actually have kids because, and I was talking about this with a coworker, is because nowadays these kids are attached to their phones, and you see them walking around with their head down in their phone. They're not even watching where they're going, and it's just a world of instant gratification. These kids have everything, the world at their hands through their phone, and so of course they may not want to work for something. They may not want to put in the time, the effort, and have the patience to actually let their journey play out. And they want to run before they can even crawl, and so there's a disconnect there. So we're kind of a society right now that wants instant gratification based off of the controlled content that we are seeing out there on a daily basis. And again, like I said, there's a huge difference between just being transparent and authentic and being honest about your day, or being honest about things that you're struggling with or things that you're thinking of, than just constantly posting negative stuff. Andy Frisella posted, the owner of First Form Supplements, he posted online the other day that he encourages everyone to go onto your social media and take the time on different days, maybe once a month, take 30 minutes and scroll through your feed and unfollow or unfriend anyone that is constantly posting negative stuff. And I mean really negative stuff, not honest, transparent stuff, like I said before, stuff that's just them being real and just being honest about whatever it is that's going on in their life, but truly negative stuff, like glass half empty, they're a victim of their circumstances, they're never going to do this, never going to do that, and they're speaking negatively over themselves. Go online and then watch what happens to your news feed. You're going to be flooded with a lot of people that are being honest. It's going to be left with a lot of people that are being honest and transparent and positive. about their journeys and just their life in general, and sharing different things that may resonate with you. And he said it's going to add a lot of positivity back into your life, and I love that. So I encourage you guys to do that. One other thing that I wanted to talk about too in regards to like online social media accounts is like travel accounts. A lot of people start up Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts, and they're posting all these pictures of all these exotic places that they visited throughout the world, and they're on yachts, and they're deep sea diving and all this stuff, and some of those people legitimately are doing that stuff, okay? Like I don't know, they work their ass off to get there, or they have connections or whatever. I don't know what the case is, but people legitimately do that. A lot of people don't, and they're just posting pictures of that stuff, and they're posting, some of them steal pictures from other accounts. And if you're able to build up your social media account to a place where you have lots of followers, you can leverage your power with those followers and go to companies and say, listen, I have 20,000 people following my travel account or my fashion account. Would you send me product and pay me for it if I post it on my account? Okay, so they may not have even traveled to some of those places of those beautiful pictures that they posted, and they're actually getting paid by companies for advertising to post something about, like a vacation getaway, or, I'm wearing this outfit and it's from this company, and then they actually get paid by that company. So that's the thing with social media and controlled content now, is you can really build up a following online by actually not really being yourself. There's a lot of accounts out there that you can tell that they're not being transparent and just everything's super controlled, but they probably have some good sponsors because those companies see value in their followers that they have, and they want to reach that particular audience, and they pay that Instagram account or that Facebook account or Snapchat account or whatever it is, whatever social media platform they're using. They pay them money, so that they can reach their followers. So that's something to be aware of, because a lot of time, actually a good way to find out if an account really does have a big following, like what it shows, is to actually, let's say an account has 100,000 followers, right? But you go onto one of their pictures and they're only getting maybe 500 likes, or maybe even 1,000 likes on a picture. They probably bought their followers, and they're probably buying those likes and the comments and the shares and all that stuff from different companies that are set up to do that. Like, you can easily go out and buy followers and buy shout outs from other pages. I can't remember where it was at, but there was actually a country, I can't remember where it was at off the top of my head, but they actually had a social media farm is what they called it, and they had a building in that country, and in the building was all these workers in a foreign country. Their main job was to simply click like and to follow people and to share things on people's accounts that they're actually paying for them to do so. And they actually got busted, and I don't remember exactly why, if it was illegal what they were doing, if they were crossing any lines with that. But it was literally a building, and there was a bunch of foreign workers in there, and their job was to simply like a bunch of photos and share and put comments on that, and none of it was really genuine. It was just people that were paying them to do so, to make them look good on social media, to make their engagement look good. Because again, when you're trying to get companies to sponsor you on social media, it's all about, they want to know, well, how much engagement are you getting? Are you getting a lot of likes and follows? Are you getting comments? How many people are viewing your IG stories? How many people are viewing your Facebook stories? So again, there's a lot of people out there that are buying that stuff, and it's not really genuine or authentic. So that's something to just be aware of. One other thing I wanted to talk about too was with this controlled content, and this is something that I have really worked on myself as of lately, is I used to, when I had some free time, just kind of sit on my phone and scroll through my news feed. I know a lot of people do that, and I still do that on occasion now. However, I do it much less because I kind of got burnt out a little bit on social media, and I just told myself that, you know what, I'm not going to spend a lot of my extra time, because I don't have a lot of extra time right now. I'm not going to spend it looking at other people's lives, especially, 99% of the people on my social media accounts I don't see, I don't really talk to. They're not really a part of my life, and they're just on my feed. I'm friends with them on Facebook or on Instagram or something like that. So, the time wasted scrolling through feeds where you're just sitting there and you're scrolling. The next thing you know, you literally were sitting on your couch for an hour of looking at other people's lives. You're not really invested in their lives. You're comparing yourself to their lives. You may feel shittier afterwards, and you realize that, you know what, I just wasted an hour of time, and I cannot get that time back. I didn't do anything productive. I didn't learn anything. Some of it was probably negative. There's a lot of fake news going on right now. Facebook had the issue of having a lot of fake news articles being posted and also being sponsored, so it showed up in your feed, and indeed it wasn't even real news. The challenge, I would say, for this particular segment is to stop spending so much time scrolling through the feed of random people. If there's people that you truly find value in what they're posting, you learn stuff from them, they add value to your life, you're just, maybe you're attracted to what they're doing, you're learning things, whatever, you like their account, then go ahead and make a point to go to their account, every once in a while and just see what they're doing. Maybe it's an entrepreneur account and you're watching their videos and you're learning stuff from them and you're actually able to take that and add it to your life to enhance your life. But if it's simply people that you just go to for no reason and you're not really getting anything out of it, take that time back for yourself and reinvest it back into yourself, your family, your close friends, whatever. Maybe you scrolled on your feed for an hour when you could have went to the gym and worked out. I think that the time spent at the gym reinvesting back into your health would have been much better time invested than sitting on the couch scrolling through the feed, liking people's pictures. You're not really getting anything out of it. Again, like you're still going to probably do it on occasion, and I do every once in a while just to see what's going on in the world, but for the most part, I have specific accounts of people that I follow that I do like to look at because I learn from them. I find value in their account. And, and I tell people, for those that follow me, if I'm not adding value on my account, or, maybe it's not interesting to you or whatever, you feel like my accounts are a waste of time, then don't follow me. It's not that big of a deal. Like, you need to be following people that truly add value to your life and that you're on a consistent basis where you're always learning and reinvesting back into yourself. So just keep that in mind, that you can't get back that time spent, that you're constantly just scrolling through the feed, looking at people's lives and comparing yourself. And I'm guilty of this, like I said in the past. I don't do it as much now, not nearly as much. I've really cut down on it because I just promised myself that I'm going to keep reinvesting back into myself. And now I don't want to waste time. I want to be productive. So, when you find yourself scrolling through the feed, ask yourself, am I being productive right now or am I not being productive? Because you can't get that time back, okay? That's one thing, is that as time goes on, you just can't get it back. So think about, let's say, when you're 80, 90 years old, are you going to remember what was in the news feeds? Are you going to be in your 80s and 90s and be like, gosh, I really enjoyed what was in the news feed when I was in my 20s and 30s. I remember so-and-so's feed had this and so-and-so's feed had that. Or are you going to be like, man, I really wish I spent more time doing things I loved, things that were productive, adding, memories with family and friends, or, reinvesting back into my health. I really think that it's going to be, you would regret spending that time scrolling through people's feeds. So I encourage you to go to people's accounts that really add value to your life. Another thing I want to talk about is there's a trainer. He's a First Form trainer, and again, here's a prime example of someone that I follow that I do go to his page occasionally to check up and read his posts. He's an excellent writer. He's a really good trainer. He's knowledgeable. He's been very transparent about his fitness journey and going from a corporate job into a fitness job because he was unhappy in the corporate world. And then he's talked about how he struggled in the fitness world to build up his clientele and be successful as a trainer because he's super knowledgeable, but he's not constantly posting selfies of him with his shirt off. And he even admits he's not even ripped to shreds. Like, it's not like you look at him and you're like, damn, he's a physical specimen. You look at him and you're like, oh yeah, I mean, he's in good shape and he works really hard, but he's not like a ripped fitness model. And that's what it resonates with me. And he posts about, what's going on with the controlled content, and he said that it bothers him when his little cousin gets online on social media and posts a picture, and if it doesn't get a certain amount of likes within like a couple minutes, his little cousin deletes that photo. And that's a shame that a young kid like that is posting controlled content of what they think is their highlight reel, right? And people don't like it or comment, and that's the best. They feel like that's my best picture that I'm posting. I'm not getting any likes, so they delete it, and then they feel shitty about themselves. Like, to look for external validation of what your self-worth is and your value and what your purpose is in life, and you're going online to find that, and you're basing it off of likes and comments and shares and follows, like, that's sad. That actually makes me sad for young kids that do that nowadays. And that's why I think into the future, and I just think, damn, like, even as a parent, if you were to show your kid lots of love and encouragement, and you're always speaking positively to them, and you're always, doing everything as a parent to support them, that's important. But if they're still going to go online because all these kids are obsessed with social media and get their validation through likes and comments and shares and stuff like that, it's just sad. Like, so I don't know what the answer is to that. I'm just being honest on this, as this is something that I thought about, is that I guess someday, when we have kids, we're going to have to sit down with them and say, listen, here's what your value is. You're loved by us, you're loved by God. You have purpose in life. Your purpose does not, or your value does not come from other people or things or anything like that. And just constantly reinforcing that idea, because that is really sad that a little kid would go online and post a picture, and if he doesn't get he or she doesn't get as many likes or comments that they want, that they just delete that and they have to move on. So again, controlled content. We are looking at people's highlight reels. And then natural instinct is to compare ourselves. That would be like me as an NFL running back. I am a rookie. I just got drafted into the NFL. And I am watching a highlight reel of Barry Sanders, who was one of the greatest running backs of all time. And he actually retired at the peak of his career, which was really surprising to everyone, because he was just dominating. He could have kept going, but for some reason, he just decided to hang it up and just stop playing football. But again, if I'm a rookie running back and I'm still building my skills and I'm still improving, and it's my first year in the league, but I'm comparing myself to one of the greatest of all time, well, how do you think that's going to end up? You think you're going to feel good about yourself afterwards? Like, it's one thing to watch it, and if you're able to truly be motivated by it, but not start comparing yourself with year 1 to Barry Sanders of year 10, then if you can make that separation, then good. That's healthy. But if you're comparing yourself to someone that has been in the league for 10 years and has been at this for a very long time, then that's not going to work. Okay? So again, when you get on like Facebook stories, IG stories, I mean, there's not a lot of people that are posting on there about how shitty their day was, or some challenges that they faced, and most people are just posting like awesome pictures with filters and just the highlights of their life. And I guess the reason why I thought about why this would be something good to talk about is because I've been guilty of this in the past. I've kind of gone through a personal transformation when I first started my social media accounts. Of course, I wanted to be the best trainer. I wanted everyone to come to me. I wanted people to think that I had my shit together. And I've gone through this transformation of ups and downs as an entrepreneur, and having to go back to a real job, but still side hustling and writing a book, and all these ups and downs and stuff like that. I've realized that being yourself and being transparent and authentic is the best thing that you could possibly do, because there really is no one else that's exactly like you, and to try to be someone else would be such a waste of time. And I like that quote that I think actually the quote might even be in my book about why try to be someone else everybody else is already taken. There's something very powerful about being yourself. Even Brian, I think, says, and I'll probably get his quote wrong, but he says we're all imperfectly perfect. And I like that, because again, no one's perfect. We're all a work in progress. We're transforming. We're in a constant state of becoming. Brian did a segment probably early on, like episode 5 or 6, about how we're always in a constant state of becoming, meaning we're always learning, we're always transforming. We're different from yesterday. We're going to be, different tomorrow. So you have to embrace getting outside of your comfort zone, because obviously that's where majority of the growth happens. But unfortunately, it's uncomfortable, and change is a good thing. But even when it's like good change that's happening, maybe you got a new job in a new area and you're making $100,000 more. Well, guess what? Moving's still going to be stressful, even though you're going to be making $100,000. Upping and packing everything and switching over utilities and going to a new area and learning the streets and getting adjusted to new employees. I mean, that's all hard stuff. Even though like this whole process of moving to a new city and getting an awesome new job is a good thing. So as far as, let's see, I'm trying to think if there's any other points I wanted to make. The take-home message for this really is just that, personally for me, I have been transforming over the past couple of years, and I've been moving more into a place of just wanting to be transparent and honest about things, and rather than just trying to post highlights or trying to post, most people think, well, what do people want to see? Well, here's the issue when you own a business is there's two ways of looking at it. Is from a business perspective, you would say, well, we have to post things that people want, right? You want to gain people's business. So we want to draw attention. We want to gain followers. We want engagement on our social media accounts. And, we want to post stuff that people are interested in, right? But then the other side of the spectrum is, well, if we're doing all this, but this is not really who we are, and it doesn't align with our morals, our goals, our integrity, our character, well, then we have a problem, because you can only sustain all of this fake stuff for so long where your real self over here wants to show through, and it may lead to unhappiness and, amongst many other things, and you're just not happy in general. You may be getting the comments and the likes and the shares, but is that really you? So there's kind of a fine line when you own a business of, well, you have to give the customer what they want, like you have to fill a need. You have to say, well, what do you want? I'm going to give that to you. That's how you make money. That's how, you become successful in business. But at the same time, you have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to feel good about it. And again, it has to align with who you are, with your morals, your goals, your integrity, your character, all that stuff. So there is a fine line between giving the customers what they want, but are you maintaining who you are, or are you being fake? So I think that's always going to be a challenge for someone that is an entrepreneur or wants to run their own business, which kind of shows you that you need to get into a business that you enjoy. A lot of people are working in a career that they're very unhappy in, and unfortunately that does happen. That's happened to me, and I know it happens to a lot of other people. It's not going to be that way forever if you really put together an action plan, you start taking action. I'm not a victim of my circumstances. I am, coming from a place of strength. I'm going to make an action plan. I'm going to start taking action to get into something I like, so that I don't have to fake it till I make it, but I can actually be myself and put my content out into the world, and people can appreciate that for what it is. So that's really all I have to say about this particular segment. Episode 55 is just controlled content. Be aware of what you're watching online. Be aware of how you're spending your time. Again, it's, everyone scrolls through their feeds and they like to look at other people's pictures. Even if it's for entertainment, maybe that's your form of entertainment. Instead of watching 30 minutes of TV, you're like, no, I'd actually rather look at other people's social media accounts and just check out what they're doing and check out pictures. Like, I can personally say for me, I love looking at pictures of real estate. That's like, I go to Frederick and Ryan's and Luis's and the new guy for $1 million listing. I actually do go onto their social media accounts on occasion, especially Frederick's, because he posts a lot of really amazing real estate pictures, and I really enjoy looking at these like awesome, like beautiful real estate pictures from New York City. So that's one way that I kind of, I guess, spend a little, because I do think it's important for you to have a balance, and it's not like you have to be business go all the time, which is what I'm also learning, is that I need to have a better balance. but you know, it's fun to kind of have an entertainment aspect to your life as well. So, like tonight, I'll probably be watching the rest of the season of House of Cards. Yes. We're stuck on House of Cards and we're watching the newest season, and that's kind of our thing that we like to do at night for an hour or two before we go to bed. So just be aware of what you're doing online. Be aware of what you're posting. You know, ask yourself, does this reflect who I am? Is this what I'm wanting to put out into the world? Am I spending my time productive? Is this a form of entertainment that I want? There's no right or wrong answer to that. It's just something that you guys need to think of yourself and decide if it aligns with what you want your future to look like, because what you're doing right now is going to, you know, impact where you're at tomorrow, and so on and so forth. So my challenge for you is to try to be more transparent and pay attention to what you're doing online as far as how you're spending your time and scrolling through your feeds. With that being said, tonight I'll probably be laying in bed looking at pictures of the 2017 F-150 Super Snake, which I can't buy right now, but I do plan to buy in the future. Again, I enjoy looking at pictures of cars. I'm really into, like, you know, cars like that. So I do find value in that because I'm working towards purchasing that vehicle and I want that vehicle. So it's kind of an investment. It keeps me motivated in a positive way. So my challenge is to pay attention to what you guys are doing on social media. And as far as the health and wellness tip goes, going back to the supplement thing, I think people kind of, when they first get into fitness, the first thing they say is, well, what fat burner should I take? Or what this should I take? Or what that should I take? And I used to say, oh, well, okay, here's a good pre-workout. Here's a good fat burner. Here's this. But now I've moved on to more of, well, here's my top 8 list of supplements. None of them are fat burners. None of them are pre-workouts. None of them are muscle builders. None of them are technically metabolism enhancers. They're all holistic supplements that increase longevity. They decrease inflammation, and they're very holistic. And those supplements are actually in my book. I list those in my book, Dominate Your Day. So if you want to go to my website, michaelstahl.com, you can pick up my book, and I have my top 8 lists of supplements in there. And those are supplements that I go to Publix or I go to Walmart. You can order off of Amazon. They're not very expensive. I take those every single day. I think those are very important to keeping inflammation down in your body, because really what all the research and the studies show is that inflammation is a common denominator amongst pretty much every single illness or disease or situation that we're dealing with. So you want to try to keep the inflammation down in your body as much as possible. Inflammation is a good thing temporarily. If you sprain your ankle, you have inflammation, right? But that inflammation will go away. The problem is when you're eating like shit and you're doing all these bad things to your body, and that inflammation is turned on for extended levels of, or extended periods of time. That inflammation should go away. That switch should turn off. And the issue with us is we're eating like shit, and we're exercising maybe in the wrong way, and we're drinking, we're doing all kinds of stuff that's not good for our body, and that inflammation is just consistently at a high level. We need to get the inflammation down in our body. So I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. We'll be back next week for episode 56. Check out unstoppablepursuit.com and head over to iTunes and search Unstoppable Pursuit and download our latest episode. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.